In the olden days, long before many of us were born, the town of Okeho Ahoro stood proud. It was a Yoruba town, strong in its identity, holding firm against the winds of change that blew across our lands. The 19th century was a time of great upset, a period when the ways of trade shifted from human beings to new things like the Bible and the farm tools. Okeho had managed to keep its identity even with all these changes. But trouble was brewing, not just from within, but from outside forces. The people of Okeho and the towns nearby had faced threats from powerful groups like the Fulani and the people of Dahomey. These encounters made the elders of the town worry about their safety. So, Oba Arile Shire, the king of that time, called for all the towns around Okeho to come together to form one strong family so they could stand united against their enemies. A merger happened, and for a while there was cooperation. Sadly, Oba Arile Shire passed away. A new king, Ononja Olabi Olukitibi, came to the throne. With his arrival, things began to change, and not everyone was happy. It was also a time when the British were making their presence felt more and more. They had a way of ruling called indirect rule, which meant they used our own people to carry out their laws. This brought with it something called ajele. Now, the ajele was not a new thing entirely. It was a system for collecting money, taxes, and it had been around for a long time. But with the British, the ajele became stronger and its demands felt heavier on the people. It was not just about the money. It was about the British trying to change every part of their daily lives. The people of Okeho, who loved their traditional ways, felt that their lives were being forced into new paths they did not want. It was not just the taxes or the ajele that caused anger. There was also a deep disagreement among the leaders, the Baales themselves. Some powerful Baales like Baale Olele, Balogun Atilola, Alashia, and Ba Ogan strongly opposed Onjo Wolabi Olukitibi. They believed he was working too closely with the British, becoming an agent of the colonial masters. They wanted him gone. The people also resisted many new rules introduced by the colonial administration. Imagine being told you could no longer go outside to relieve yourself, that you had to build toilets inside your homes, or being told that vaccinating your children was necessary when many believed it would harm their brains. These new ways felt like an attack on their beliefs, their traditions, their very way of life. Even the new courts that the British set up caused problems. Women, who had always lived under certain rules, found that these courts gave them a way to seek divorce, to break free from harsh situations. While this brought freedom to some women, many men saw it as a threat to their authority, to the old ways where their word was law. And then there was Christianity, seen by the keepers of traditional beliefs as something that was causing chaos in their spiritual world. The policemen, called Akoda, who worked for the British, were seen as traitors to their own people. The anger grew, like a river swelling after heavy rains. The scheme led by Baale Olele gained strength because because the citizens truly preferred their traditional lifestyle. This anger was not just in Okeho, it spread to Isheyin. The uprising was planned to remove Onjo, Olukitibi, his queen, and the prince from power. When the uprising exploded, it was fierce, but the British colonial army, led by Captain Ross, reacted quickly and with great force. They mobilized their soldiers. Baale Olele and his allies were captured. They were brought to trial and, in a grim turn of events, they were sentenced to death by hanging. The uprising was brutally put down. This chaos, this struggle, ended up making colonial rule even stronger and more visible. The people of Okeho were forced to leave their ancestral home, Okeho Ahoro, the very place where the uprising happened. They were compelled to move to a new settlement, Okeho Ile. This move was not for their comfort. It was so the colonial government could watch them more closely, to ensure no such defiance would rise again. And so, my dear listeners, that is a dramatic and powerful story of the Okeho Exodus and the war that led to a new beginning for a resilient people. It is a story of tradition clashing with new ways, of leaders, and of a community fighting for its soul. It reminds us that history is not just dates and names, but the very heartbeat of a people's journey. Thank you for listening. Do well to subscribe to this channel and like this video for more of our captivating stories.